Yeah, what's good? I'm your host Ryan Bain, aka B Rock, and this is why we like The Army of the Dead, directed by Zack Snyder. I got my co-host. Say what's up, homie. Yeah, epic journalism. All right, so we're gonna talk about a movie today that was fire. If you haven't seen it, pretty A1. It's pretty solid. I highly recommend it if you haven't seen it already. The reviews hold up. The movie holds up like tenfold. We're gonna get into like why we like it. Why is it such a good? Why is it getting this praise? Why is it so good? I wasn't prepared for this. As you can see, if you haven't noticed, cut the hair down, shaved off the facial hair. I look 12, but it's okay. There's nothing wrong with having a baby face. Shout out to all the baby face people out there. Pause before we do anything. Before we get into anything, I need y'all to hit that like button immediately. Then after that, I need you to hit the subscribe button. When you hit the subscribe button, hit the bell notification so you can get notified whenever I drop these bangers. Come on, stop playing with me. Army of the Dead was directed by Zack Snyder. If you don't remember who that phenomenal person was, that's the person who basically chopped up the DC movies and actually made it into something that actually can be rebooted and reattacked. Because what they've been putting out recently, besides Joker, has been Basuda. Starring Dave Bautista, Ella Purnell, Omari Hardwick. They got my nigga Ghost killing zombies. Theo Rossi, Ana de la Reguera, Lobo's sister from Power. Alright, it was just a phenomenal cast. Theo Rossi, if you remember him from Luke Cage, Shades. My man's, he's been in a lot of things and he played a cool role. It was brief, but it was cool. Newcomers, people, you've probably never heard of, but this was the movie that's gonna put you on to, this is the movie that's gonna put you on to them. This is really what's gonna help you zoom into what's the situation. You know what I'm saying? Hiroyuki Sanada. I think I said his name right. I mean, if you don't, I'm gonna hold the picture up, but if you don't know who that is, I mean, come on now. I think he was in the Wolverine movie. It's been a bunch of things. I think he was in Rush Hour 3. First, let me tell you what I thought about the film. I thought the movie was like cut to the chase. Didn't have too much of the Hollywood magic, romanticizing certain things. There was 2 scenes, where I was like, come on, son. Other than that, the movie was entertaining. It was a bit long, but it was so entertaining I didn't care about the time. Like, that's how you know if a movie's good. If a movie is 2.5 hours long and you're like, oh snap, this movie's kind of long, but you're like, I'm still waiting to see what happens. Good writing, is good directing, just good production, everything. Like, so shout out to them for that. But this movie, like, the tone of it was like Dead Rising meets The Walking Dead meets Zombieland meets an action movie, all mixed into one. And it wasn't too much of like the romance thing. It wasn't that type of movie. The baseline of the movie, like the actual what the moral or the story behind it, to me was very deep, and we're gonna get to that. It immediately starts off, it's a banter. You see somebody who just got hitched in Vegas. Oh, that's where people be eloping at. Vegas. They driving down the road, get a little frisky, they want to celebrate that new love, in the nastiest way possible. As they're doing this, you see a convoy fleet of trucks. They're just driving down. Obviously, they got something on the back of it, and they're just like having a typical conversation. A conversation between these two. It was dope because realistic to an extent. Like, I was in the military before, and a lot of our conversations don't be like in the movies. Like, so what are you gonna do for the 4th of July? Oh, I'm gonna take the kids down and we're gonna go to the docks. Bring Lassie, Dassy, Massey. Well, we're gonna go swim with the dogs. Yeah, no, it don't go down like that. But like, yo, bro, man, tell me why I was playing these ass niggas on 2K last night. Man, they say we got a 3-day coming up. Nah, Yo, but they be hold over there, right? We gonna slide, bro. Bring Glock, so open carry state. I like it just be a little realistic. So the conversation, got me linked in. And then, obviously, you can't be doing what they was doing on the road and pay attention. So this big accident, happens. Boom. You know what I mean? Everybody's trying to recover. They get a call from some lady. They was like, hey, did that container bust open by any chance? And they was like, yeah, the containers, a bust open. And then she was just like, yo, homie, real talk, y'all need to bounce like ASAP. Cause shit about to get real. Little did they know, this swole we gonna call him a zombie because later on in the movie, I don't think that they're zombies. Spoiler alert. But it's deeper than that. And they left it real ambiguous, real obscure. So it leaves opening for a sequel. That's what I think. Dude busts out. He looked like he just hit 30 burpees in that can. He immediately starts slicing, dicing, chewing, chomping, doing whatever he need to do to get his fill. He's hungry. He's been in that container for umpteen hours. He's hungry. Let the boy eat. Let that man eat. He had dog tags, so you're like, is he an experiment? What's good with this dude? They try to get away. Obviously, that don't fail. Dude rip off homeboy jaw. Pretty graphic, but it was awesome. Thank you for the practical effects. That was lit. Rip his face off. After his face get ripped off, the spread begins. Now I'm thinking, all right, this is where it starts. But then I thought about the dude that got his jaw ripped off. What is he gonna do? He can't bite nothing. He just a walking mouth. Half of a walking mouth. They have a cool slow motion opening scene of basically how Vegas got overrun by this outbreak. They essentially quarantine off Vegas, and they fast forward, giving a little slight backstory, which was, I like that opening scene. That was a dope opening scene. It ran a little bit long. The song Viva, all that shit, it was a little extra, but it was a dope opening scene. Boom. Fast forward to what's going on. You got Batista, his big ass, he a chef. Obviously, they were zombie hunting at one point, and I guess they were able to quarantine off the section, and basically they were planning to evacuate that whole quarantine area. It started in Vegas, and it stopped in Vegas. Once that is put into play, you're starting to see the character. The cast selection, it's rare that they Hollywood hits the cast selection entirely right, but you had the brains, you had multiple people who could have been the bronze, you had personality. It wasn't just dry, but it wasn't also always comedy. It was realism to it. The quarantine situation, we're in something like that, but not like that, but it was just a good vibe of actors playing off each other. The actors weren't overdoing it, overselling it. It was clear cut. Now you get turned quick in this one. The zombie turn is faster. This movie even breaks down the different type of zombies, which a lot of movies they have different type of zombies, different type of zombies. If you got bit by a zombie that got bit by the alpha, meaning that dude that hopped out swinging on everybody. If you got bit by a zombie that got bit by him, you just a normal the walking. You're not the Michael Jackson ones, but you the Walking Dead ones. You really slow. But if you got bit by an alpha, meaning the big dude, you're this thinking. It's an almost different species. You're a thinking, synced with him type of zombie. You can think and you can run. You got cardio. They was in there. You got cardio speed. So the whole story kicks off. There's this millionaire. There's always some rich guy. Tanaka. That's the businessman. Tanaka. Obviously, he's well renowned. He's like a rich man. He's like an Elon Musk of this film. Just a little bit more personality. Tanaka, he basically comes to Batista. He's like, hey man, I know you good at fucking up zombies. I need you to do something for me. I need you to build me a team. And what they wanted to do was get this team and go get the cash. You want to get that cash. That element made this a zombie movie worth watching, because most zombie movies, they trap somewhere. There's no hope in zombie movies. There's no oh man, we're the last two stuck in this broom closet and there's a bunch of zombies, and that's how the movie ends, or something goofy like that. Or we're on top of this building and we just look at each other, oh man, we're not gonna make it. The movie ends. This one, it came out with a purpose, like, look man, we need you to build up a team, and there's some cash sitting in one of the casinos that we have. Now this is Vegas, everybody bounce or they're zombies, so there's a bunch of money. So they say, hey, we got some money down there and it's safe, man. If you can go, collect that, it's a good payout for you. And then automatically I'm just like, something just don't seem right about this. He's like, take some time. You don't gotta think about it today. You ain't gotta think about it today. Take some time out to figure out what you want to do. Come back, all right? Starts hitting up all his old partners. We get Maria Cruz, also Ana de la Reguera. Regurera. Somebody help me pronounce this. I think I'm saying it right. And I took Spanish, so something's wrong with me. They get a safecracker. They get somebody who knows the actual Las Vegas land. Somebody who is a local. So they got this person that brings them in called the Coyote. And the Coyote is definitely played by Nora Arnezeder. Played by Nora Arnezeder. Yeah, I said that right. Didn't they check the drop zone? Like, how you not check the drop zone for that? It was funny. The tone, the pace. I was always interested. I never stopped being interested in the movie. It kept me like, oh shit. A lot of them, they never dealt or been on the outside fighting zombies. Probably when the outbreak happened, I had to fight zombies to get to the quarantine zone. But that's all they dealt with. Now you got a bunch of zombies who were, typical zombies. But then you got the ones that can think and run. And they came almost like pack-like. They started becoming a pack. Like a zombie pack. A Z-pack. It was a Z-pack. The Zombie King. I'm going to just call him Zombie King. I don't know. He don't got no name. I just call him Zombie King. Alright. So Zombie King, he got this fleet. They gear up, get the guns ready, load them up. We about to get these motherfucking zombies. After they load them up and they get everything together, they start taking that step outside. So Coyote brings my man Shades out, right? Everybody's like, yo, why are you bringing him? He's a douchebag, and low-key, we think he's a sexual offender. Like, we think he's assaulting the quarantine people. And that should give a hint to y'all that some of these, facilities and stuff, not everything is run how they're supposed to be ran, and there's a lot of people that shouldn't be doing that job, and he was one of those people. So they basically say, hey, we got to give up an offering. They give up an offering. They're like, what do you mean? So Lily straight up, blah, shoot this nigga in the leg, bah, 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 ah, ha, ha, ha. The queen of the zombies, right? She hop out, she inspecting, like, sniff this nigga up, like, yeah, you know what, we gonna take him. Boom, they slide him up out of there. They basically had to ask for the rights to roam. Like, Roman rules. Like, look, man, you want to come to Vegas? And with that offering, they show what they actually did with them. The zombies were basically sniffing you out. Smell your spirit. And I think my theory was he had a bad spirit. So they was like, oh, you'll be perfect to actually control the dude, crazy shit. They basically turned him into one of them. And we'll see later on what that looked like. We also learn that the zombies that are the slower ones, they operate a little bit different. All right, so they hibernate inside. Earlier in the film, you see them walk past a pile of chopped up zombies. Now with these, and they're just dried out, but they were still alive. So apparently they go into the shade to hibernate. In that, they're in pitch blackness. So they basically aren't really adapting or moving to anything other than like loud noise. So they're like, yo, we got to move through these people. So they make this pathway with glow sticks to basically follow where to go without having to turn on the lights. If they turn on the lights, it might wake them up. Hibernation over. Now they trying to chomp y'all. So basically the guy that's walking with them is a liaison sent by Tanaka. Now this guy that was sent by Tanaka is Martin, and he's a dick. All right, he's an asshole. That kind of sense of like, yo, why is he with us? Like, we really feel like he's here to just like take all the money. Like that's what they thought. I thought it too. As they're going through the darkness, one of the people that they recruited, which was like somebody from the streets, while Martin and Chambers are in the back walking through the pack, she basically pulls aside like, yo man, I feel like you on some bullshit. And you know, I don't know what you up to, but I just know that once it's over, we all need to have a little discussion, you know, discussiones. I think he started to sense that, all right, if she's picking up, they're gonna probably pick up on what's going on, and I have an ulterior motive. So he basically did some slick shit. He moved the path of the glow sticks for her to get trapped in. That scene was so intense. She's just basically walking through a mad zombie, and she looks up and she's like, oh shit. Oh, I'm not even supposed to be here. Also, in the beginning, she also said that she never killed a zombie. And boy, did she get the poking like it was a hokey pokey, bro. She proved her point. She went in, and that right there set the tone. Obviously, gunshots let off. Gunshots get let off. Zombies gonna come out. So they're making their way downtown, trying to get to the safe. A bunch of zombies getting killed. A bunch of action. A bunch of crazy stuff. Martin and the Coyote basically are, I think they're standing guard outside. The Queen comes back, and you know, the second in command, you know, the third in command, you know what I mean, he comes back. Now he pulls up. They basically start to tussle with the two. They wind up catching them, and when they catch him, Martin, crazy ass, decides to decapitate the Queen. The Coyote is like, what you doing? He said, you think Tanaka gives a damn about the money? He's not here for that. He's here for the head. We get this head, we can make a bunch of controlled, militarized zombies. I'm like, how the fuck you think that? Look at where you at right now. Do you think that that's a good idea? These niggas can think now already. You just gonna have an army of dead niggas fighting dead niggas. That don't make no sense. That don't make no sense. But that's what, you know, that's what the government do. You know what I'm saying? They be doing. So they do that. I kind of knew that there was something that, you know, Tanaka wasn't telling them. But while they're down there, they get to some blueprints. And then this is when, you know, spoiler alert, spoiler alert, spoiler alert. This is when the movie starts to throw in little things that make you go, they're down there, and they said, hey, there's blueprints to this same building down here already. And then that's when it came to realization. Tanaka sent a bunch of teams down there, probably several times, and they just didn't make it. But he came to you like, this is some brand new shit. You gotta think, Tanaka ain't right. Dave Bautista's goofy ass daughter for some reason wanted to come with him because she had some beef going on, and you know, the dynamic between Dave Bautista and his daughter, who was played by Ella Purnell. And Ella Purnell basically is going to be in the new Scream, so I'm looking forward to it. She did a decent job. She was annoying me in this movie, but it wasn't her. Like, her character was annoying me in this movie, but you know, it is what it is, what it was, what it ain't. Basically tagging along to try to save somebody that Coyote sent off. And what Coyote basically was doing was, the Coyote basically would take people to Vegas to try to get money, so I could try to see if I can, you know, get whatever money's left. That's what people was doing. So at this point, the government is like, hey man, you know, this whole situation is getting out of hand, and what we're gonna do is we're just gonna evacuate everybody. And once we evacuate everybody, we're going to basically we're gonna nuke it. We're gonna nuke Vegas. So they was like, you know what? We're gonna nuke it in a couple hours. All right. So now that puts a hitch in their problem. Now, with that hitch being in the plan, now they gotta speed up and hurry up and get up out of there. The safe that they gotta unlock, obviously, it's an incredible safe. The German guy has to unlock it. And the banter between him and Omari Hardwick's character, Vanderhorn. Vandero? Of course he would play somebody named Vandero. That don't even... Anyway, the conversation between him and Dieter, the German guy, I really can't pronounce his name. I'm gonna try to, all right? His name is Matthias Schweigerhofer. Did I say it right? Like, he was one of my favorite characters. My favorite characters was Amari Hardwick, which was Vandero. Scott Ward, Batista did his thing. Like, he's really stepping into his own. Who else? Oh, Mary Ann Peters, played by Tig Notaro. She did her thing. Like, that was, she held that movie together when she could, and it was good. Like, Chambers, her fine ass, like Chambers, whoa! I was so mad when she got, chomped up. Everybody would, like, I love the whole cast. I'm gonna keep it real with you. That's rare that I be like, I like the whole cast. There's usually people like, I don't like, I like the entire cast. They did their thing. Like, good job. You know what I'm saying? Good job. That's all I'm saying. Good job. So now the timeline is cut, but they were able to get the safe open. Boom. Dollar bill, y'all. But obviously, it's a zombie movie, so zombies just start zombieing. They start destroying everything, killing everybody, and the scenes from that point on, it was just betrayal scenes and epic action and all types of shit. The ending was perfect. Once the big bad, the alpha came, and they seen that they decapitated his queen's head, and then they were like, yeah, we did that. He was pissed. Somebody had to pay for it. Now, things that I started seeing in the movie that I noticed that was like, well, what's really going on? Well, in the beginning of the movie, somebody's racing. In the beginning of the movie, the guy says, while they're driving on in the Humvee, he was like, yo, I can't really tell you what it is, but just think of like Area 51, like come on now. So you really want me to say it? It's like, it's aliens. And then they got into the crash. And I'm like, what? Kind of confused about that. But then some of the zombies had robotic brains. Like, they had machinery in their head. They had glowing blue eyes. There was only a few of them like that. Some of them had like blue brains. Like, that was something weird. The alpha and the queen the queen was pregnant, and the alpha was pissed when they killed his queen. And he pulls the baby out the stomach, and the baby was blue. And finally, during the last battle, epic battle, the high impact escape, had to go back and rescue people, re-rescue people, try to get her out of there in time. During that escape, once the alpha was finally killed, his brains was blue. So, were they really zombies? Or were they something else? Extraterrestrial? Who knows? Fast forward, the lone survivor, Mari Hardwick, was pushed into the safe that was once cracked by Dieter. And I thought that was kind of messed up, that you would throw him in the safe that you just said will lock forever if it's messed up. Yeah, I closed it, and you're the only person now know how to open it. But then I thought, you probably told him how to get out of there, because they was vibing. They was really vibing. They was really boys, man. And fast forward, helicopter crash. Scott Wargate turned into a damn zombie. His daughter got to put him down. And it ends. Amari Hardwick, however, pops up out the rubble, goes, buys a plane, gets on a private jet. He got some cash, so he was able to get a little. So we're like, yeah, he got the money. He's out of Vegas. He's the one that made something out of it. He looking in the mirror. Boy, got a little bite on him. That opens up for part 2. And that's how you end it. I think the moral of the story was like, people, I think the movie was about PPP loans. Listen, hear me out. The moral of the story is, don't go for the money. Everybody that went for the money wound up dying. Coyote. It was a girl named Gita, right? You know what's her name? There was a character named Gita. She wanted to go in there and get the money. So she had Coyote take her out there to go get the money. What happened? She wound up getting captured. They went to go rescue her ass, and then amongst doing that, the helicopter crashed. So it wasn't even worth it. When they came back to the plane and the pilot said, yo, how much money we got? He said, there is no money. I ain't gonna lie to you. I'd have landed that motherfucker smack dab in the middle of a zombie horde. Like, what? You mean ain't no money? You don't even got $20? And I wasn't ready for that. There was certain scenes, you know, where they could have stopped things from happening. Like, all right, there was a scene where Lobo's sister get her neck snapped, and it was like, you could have shot that. You could have shot that zombie. Why y'all stop and look like, no? Like, you could have you've been killing zombies all week. Come on, bruh. But other than that, man, the movie is action packed. It's a great watch. I highly recommend it. You got to watch it. If you don't watch it, you're just doing yourself a disservice. Why we like Army of the Dead? Simple. Good tone. Good action. Good dialogue. Not too much fantasy. Not too much realism. Perfect mixture. And it opens up for a sequel. I think the sequel is going to open up what actually happened. What are these things? And who's really behind it? But other than that, y'all, I'm your host, Ryan Bain, aka AB Rock. It's been real. And this is another episode of Why We Like Army of the Dead. I am out like your toes when you're wearing sandals. Peace.